Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique and this is the Diary of a B2B Boss. So today I kind of want to share my hot take on something, and it's about social media. Most people think social media is the ultimate key to growing a business, but what if I told you that for B2B growth specifically, it's not the only or even the best strategy. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing why I focus on trade shows, business events, and referrals over traditional social media marketing. And I'm not saying don't do it, like I still do social media as well, but most of our clients come from these belly button to belly button sales. So I know that this approach has helped my business really thrive, and so I'm excited to really dive in. So before I do that, I want to update you and talk to you about the last leg of my trip after we left for China. And so we went to Taiwan for a couple of days, and honestly it was a little scary because we were traveling in the midst of a typhoon, and that was honestly one of the scariest flights in my life. And so I thought the airline was actually going to cancel the flight, but they didn't. They actually tried to reschedule it and make it come a little bit earlier, but of course my luck, and basically that plane ended up arriving later anyway, so we ended up leaving on time, so we didn't get to leave earlier as originally planned. But anyways, note to self, never fly during the tropical storm season. And so anyways, landed in Taiwan, went and got my hair done again here, and so this is my iconic look, the whole straight hair look. Got a chance to walk around Taiwan, and it was raining a bit still, but definitely wasn't as crazy winds on the first night that we had landed there. A moment for this Hunter x Hunter collaboration with McDonald's. This was pretty cool. It was my first time to Taiwan, and so I really enjoyed the food, the night markets. It was definitely crazy because when we landed, the entire city was dead. It felt like a total ghost town. There was no people on the roads. This is our taxi driver driving us through, and I don't know if you can hear it here, but it was super loud. You can hear the winds trying to push through and everything like that. But anyways, after that whole ordeal, everything came back to life, city came back to life, tons of stuff to do and tons of amazing things to eat. Because as you all know, I absolutely love food. Okay, so anyways, back to my hot take. So I want to hit on 3 main points here. And first is the power of face-to-face connection at trade shows or business events. Number 2 is all about referrals and leveraging happy clients. And number 3 is all about why I feel like trade shows and referrals create long-term ROI. So social media does have its own place, but for our business specifically, I honestly love to post on social media just for fun and do things like this where, kind of sharing a little bit about my trips and travels and food tours as well. But anyways, specifically for trade shows, business events, and referrals, these are the backbone of our strategy in our business. And so here's why they work so well in B2B and how you can make them also work for you. So first, let's talk about why trade shows are such a game changer for B2B businesses. So I think that if you've never been to a trade show or a conference or a business event or something like that, I would recommend you actually go and sign up right now, because you could be watching this video and yeah, there's some great information here and whatever, but if you don't take action on this, it's all going to be for nothing. So definitely would recommend, if you haven't done it before, sign up for an event and attend. I will say that in a single day at a trade show, I can meet more potential clients, partners, and suppliers than I would in an email or social media outreach. And so this is because everybody that's there is also just looking forward to doing business as well. And people really remember the face-to-face connections. It builds trust a lot faster than any post on LinkedIn or any social media account would. And so there's so many things that you can look out for. And my old mentor used to call it belly button to belly button sales. So that's what really stuck with me. But I definitely love it. You can pick up on body language, instant feedback, the chance to demo their products and services. And even go out to eat together, have dinner, because food is life. So would definitely recommend, if you haven't gotten out to an event, definitely get out there if you can. So I do want to share a quick story and an example. At a trade show earlier in the year in China, I actually met with a manufacturer as well who wasn't even on my radar, but a quick 10-minute chat actually led to a partnership. That's one of the most reliable suppliers for one of my other clients. And so simply by facilitating that connection, I was also able to make a nice little referral fee and commission on that too. And that kind of connection simply wouldn't have happened through a cold email, because I would have never actually been looking out for it. I honestly just was walking down the show halls and just walked past the booth oh, so one of my clients would actually really love this, and then really hit it off. And number 2 is that once you've built those relationships, referrals are where the real magic happens. I love referrals so much. I like to think of referrals as pre-qualified leads, and they're basically warm introductions from people that already know and love you. They've already been through your process. They love your products and services. They trust you, which makes them more likely to convert into long-term clients. And my favorite part is the qualifying part. It saves so much time when the client's already qualified, right? So when I see my current clients at any shows or business events, it's an opportunity to reconnect and just remind them why they work with me in the first place or have worked with me in the past, right? So this naturally just leads them to mentioning my business to others and how I might also be helpful, or I'm the person for them to know if they need some of our products and services. And so this one time I worked with a client for years, and they finally introduced me to someone that they met at the same show actually. And so that connection actually turned into a $30,000 project about 9 months later. But we kept on it. Back to the follow-up piece, right, as I mentioned in the last episode. But it all started just because of I kept showing up, kept staying visible, kept staying top of mind for the people that already know and love me, right? Because it comes back to like that trust and credibility piece. So this isn't something that happens overnight, but definitely happens over years and a long period of time. But you can actually start now just by having meaningful, actual in-person connections in real life, face-to-face, belly button to belly button sales, right? So finally, let's talk about the big picture. Why this creates more long-term ROI than constantly chasing the likes and the followers on social media. I know we all love that, right? It's the social media, it's the vanity metrics, right? I feel the same way, right? Like, how many likes am I gonna get on this YouTube video, right? Or whatever. But anyways, social media is such a fast-paced game, and you're always fighting to stay relevant. And that's what I've noticed, right? And so the moment you stop posting, your visibility just drops. And so it's important that, once you get on that social media train, you keep going, you keep it consistent. But, trade shows and referrals, they are investment that keep paying off for years. And so I can definitely attest to that. And so I'm not saying don't do social media, but trade shows, referrals, business events, these should all be part of your strategy in addition to social media. So when you focus on relationships, you're not just getting one client, right? You're building a network that can really keep referring more business to you in the long run. So this is super critical, and it can definitely be done with social media, but think back to what social media was actually intended for, right? Social media was intended for you to be social on social media. So actually reaching out to these people and also like building connections with them. So I definitely want to connect and build relationships with you. So if there are things that, you're curious to learn more about, feel free to drop those in the comments below as well. Anyways, I want to share another quick story about this one client. So this one time I actually met a client at an event like 2 years ago, and they've since referred me to 3 other business clients. So that was pretty cool because that one connection has turned over into $40,000 worth of revenue for myself and for some of my influencers as well. And so I didn't have to spend a dime on ads to make that happen. And that's where the real magic lies, when you realize that all it is just you showing up and just being yourself and actually just building relationships with people. And this is what actually makes the business part so much fun and why I love doing what I do so much. I'll share a quick story here too, because honestly, my mom always tells me about how she has no idea what I do. When people ask her what I do, she's like, she does Instagram, marketing, social media, influencers, right? But honestly, none of it feels like work to me. It truly does just feel like I'm hanging out all the time, because it really is about these relationships and these connections that we're building over and over, right? So anyways, with that being said, I just want to recap. Trade shows are unbeatable for building face-to-face connections. That goes to say for like conferences and business events as well. Those are really great. It's not always like having to be like a trade show where you have to go booth to booth. That's just what I found works well for our business. But anyways, referrals are your secret weapon for growing your network. And both of these create really long-term ROI that social media alone can't match. So definitely keep social media as part of your strategy, as I've said, but you can definitely incorporate these other factors in there as well. Because some people used to ask, I used to be very, very consistent on Instagram, and now I kind of just post for fun, but I'll go really ham on social media for a while, and then I'll just kind of stop, right? But it's kind of nice. I don't have to rely on social media so much just to make sure the lights are still on here in the office, right? And so it's nice that we have like this pipeline that we've just built from the events and the connections that we've built over the years and years. And so honestly, like if social media were to go away, I would be fine. I would still be able to have a business. And so it's definitely important to be able to have like both factors, you know, and so I think that's super important. So anyways, I want to hear from you. Like I said, drop it in the comments below. I want to build relationships with you as well. I am down to be social on social media. And so have you ever attended a trade show or benefited from referrals? You know, what's worked best for you in your business? Please drop a comment below and let's chat about it. And if you found this video beneficial or helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more episodes of my diary of a B2B boss. All right, well, I will see you next time. And so next time I'm going to talk about SEMA this year and how it was actually one of our most profitable years yet. Until next time, bye-bye.